available representative.
So right now I'm on hold with Inspectional Services of the City of Boston because back on May 17th of this year, there was an inspection in this unit due to cracked tiles, some kind of a leak underneath the sink or behind the wall of the sink.
Your call is important to us. Please remain on the line for the next available representative.
There are holes in the wall of the bathroom where the spackling seems to have crumbled, and the spackling was put up 2.5 years ago, and they still haven't painted over it or tried to reinforce the spackling. There's just a number of things wrong with this unit right now. There's rodents in here and cockroaches. And I sent an email to management a week ago about that issue, maybe like 4 or 5 days ago, actually. And there has been no response about the mice in this unit that keep leaving shreddings all over the place.
Your call is important to us. Please remain on the line for the next available representative.
And there was an inspection in here done by Inspector Melvin Johnson on May 16th or 17th. He issued some work orders to the landlord to fix the cracked tiles, to fix the faucet. They think that the faucet might be leaking, underneath the cabinet or in the back of the cabinet. I mean, the floor around the sink is really soft and spongy, and it's constantly damp, even though the water is not overflowing from the sink and there's not a lot of water that comes off of the tap. It's something underneath. And there was a reinspection at the end of July, like maybe July 21st of this year, by Inspector Johnson. He issued a citation to the landlord because the landlord has not fixed the problems up until that point. And the landlord still hasn't fixed the problems. And now we're September 18th. So we're going on like 4 months now. Let's see, June, July, August. Yeah, 4 months of this inspection from May not having been resolved. And I keep trying to call Inspectional Services to see what can be done to get the landlord to fix these issues.
Please remain on the line.
And I'm kind of I'm just running into roadblocks right and left. So the landlord doesn't want to make any repairs. They have refused to comply with the Inspectional Services citation from July 20th, 2023, or right around July 20th, by Inspector Johnson. I've actually tried calling Inspector Johnson a couple of times over the last 2 weeks to touch base with him to see why the landlord hasn't complied with the citation that Inspector Johnson issued on July 20th or so. Haven't heard from Inspector Johnson, haven't heard from the landlord, haven't heard from Inspectional Services about this. And in the meantime, there's still a complete lack of repairs, and nothing has been fixed, and there's still code violations in this unit. And now we're September 18th. Today's Monday, September 18th. It's right around 12:10 or so p.m., 12:15. And I'm just on hold with Inspectional Services, trying to follow up with them about what can be done about the landlord's lack of compliance with the citation that Inspector Johnson issued on or around July 20th, 2023, which was now 2 months ago.
Your call is important to us. Please remain on the line for the next available representative.
Yeah, I mean, I could be sitting here all day because sometimes this takes like an hour to get anybody on the line.
How may I help you?
Yes, hi. I'm calling because I had an inspection done in my unit back in May of 2023, and the inspector re-inspected in July and issued a citation to the landlord for code violations in my apartment. And this is 2 months later, and none of the repairs have been made yet. The landlord hasn't made any repairs, and I'm just wondering what to do at this point. I'm not sure what my options are as a tenant to get the code violations fixed in my apartment.
Well, we don't enforce that. We just give the violation. So you can follow up with the inspector.
I have.
Who the inspector was?
Yeah, I've left him a couple of voicemails over the last, Inspector Melvin Johnson.
Okay, so I'm going to let you speak to the principal inspector, okay?
Sure.
That handles that. Hold on.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Iris. Speaking. speaking. Can I help you?
Yes, hi. I'm a tenant in the city of Boston, and I had an inspection done in my apartment by Inspector Melvin Johnson back in May of 2023, which was 4 months ago now. The inspector did a reinspection on or around July 20th of 2023 and issued some citations to my landlord for code violations in my apartment, and we are now September 18th, and none of the repairs have been made. And I've tried reaching out to Inspector Johnson a couple times, left him a couple of voicemails regarding the fact that the landlord has refused to comply with the code violations, and I'm just not getting anywhere with anybody.
Okay. Wait 1 second. I'm going to need your address. That way I can see what's going on. What is the address?
It is 5 Union Avenue in Jamaica Plain, apartment number 89.
Okay, so this is so he did the inspection. This one that he did in August 4th.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I'm referring to. It's the reinspection.
Yeah, we don't have anything here that are open. One is showing that it was served. This is the one related to the doors and doors and a wall. This one should have gone up for reinspection on the 28th of August. Don't have an update in the system. Then the other one related to the floor tiles.
Yes, all of those are issues that have not been fixed so far, and they were brought to the inspector's attention back on May 17th during the initial inspection.
Yeah, so that one, I gotta find out what's going on because I don't see in the system that the order pertaining to the floor tiles was delivered or served.
Okay.
I need to check with Mr. Inspector Johnson about that.
Sure.
And then the other one that is still open that relates to the code violations for the wall and the door, that one we need to schedule an appointment for a reinspection.
Okay. All right. I mean,
It doesn't say whether or not. I mean, it says that there was an inspection scheduled for August 28th, but it's not resulted. So I need to check in with
sure.
Inspector Johnson.
Okay. Yeah, I tried to leave him a couple of voicemails on his voicemail over the last 10 days, but he might be busy.
Right. So he's not covering that area anymore. He is actually not in the so-called reactive team, which is a team that follows up with complaint type inspections.
Okay.
So this will be a different inspector going back.
Sure.
It will be an inspector that covers that area now.
Okay. Is it possible to follow up also on a citation from Inspectional Services to my landlord for a lack of heat in my unit that was brought by Inspector Hanley in March of 2022?
No, that's all of that is closed. We don't have anything open with the exception of those 2 cases.
Okay. All right. That's very helpful to know. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate your time.
So give me 1 second.
Yes, of course.
I want to verify. Now I see that we have another appointment with you for the